It's day 24 of the Virasana, Supta Virasana challenge, and we are in the home stretch. But that doesn't mean that we're going to nail the pose or not have to practice it after this 30 days. As I said a few times, the 30 days is just a capsule. Everybody's going to learn differently and at different times. I had a really good question come in, so I want to spend a little bit of time on the alignment that you're looking for in seated or supine Virasana. So if you take a look at the shape of my foot here, you'll see that I'm going to comment on the space between the second and the third toe. And so if I'm just going to angle the camera down so that you can see my foot more clearly here. Okay. So the space between the second and the third toe. As I often teach in class, when we sit in Virasana or lie down in Virasana, we'll see a kind of a pinkish hue come onto the top of the foot after we've practiced. That's a good sign. It's a sign that the blood circulation has come to the surface of the skin. But sometimes it takes a while to get that alignment. So we might find the pinkish hue is here or even here. And that really is depending on how the weight is falling on your foot when you're in the pose, right? Some of us tend to pronate and some of us tend to supinate. And so what we're really looking for is neutral. So if I take this yoga strap and start at that space between the second and the third toe, come up my leg towards the center of the shin bone, center of the ankle joint, center of the knee, that's where the weight distribution in Virasana shape should be on your foot. Now, what to do if it doesn't naturally fall that way, which I can guarantee you is most often the case. So if I just change the orientation here, I'm going to show you a couple ways to work on that. First and foremost, and I'm going to show you from the back here, sitting on some height. First and foremost is you want to see when you're sitting. So if you find that the pinkish hue is more on the inside of the foot, more towards the medial arch, then you'll want to see that even the pinky toe is down on the floor. And I have very small toes, especially the small one. It's very small. So I take some time here to roll into that. My heels, as you can see, tend to sickle inwards. So I might use something like a wedge, which could be, a book, to help me wedge the heels away from the midline. And that will help me get more weight distribution onto the outer edges of my feet and then therefore onto the pinky toe. The nail beds themselves should all be down on the floor. So take some time, lift the toes and spread the toes. And I even often do this. See how I'm lifting my whole foot off the floor? And then I want to position it so that it's in the center. Excuse me, spring allergies. And then I position it in the center. Okay, so then the nail beds themselves are on the mat. And, you could use, I'm just going to show with the chumble, which is what, the people that carry water on their head, that's what they use to break the weight of the basin. So Iyengar, of course, made that into a yoga prop. And so as I go lower down, see how I'm really taking the time to move the calf flesh out to the sides. That will help, especially if you see that you tend to sickle inwards with your heel. You can even use your fist and then sit down. And this, you have to go slowly. If it's a lot of pressure, don't overdo it. Just take your time, wait for there to be some reaction. And you want to feel again that you're on the outer edges of your feet. So even the pinky toe is down. Now, if I show a side view, we sometimes practice with these under our front ankle joints. Sometimes you may have been in class with me and see that I will put even like a pool noodle underneath someone's ankle joint to help them release from the discomfort. I'm just going to even it out here because I'm feeling lopsided. This could be like a rolled face cloth, hand towel. And again, this will help to just shape that foot to get onto the center of the ankle joint. Okay, so again, it's not, Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's going to take some time. and just observe the shape of your foot. Maybe even videotape yourself or have someone take a picture so you can see what's going on behind the scenes. Because for most of us, the back is uncharted territory. Then lastly, you can also use a rolled sticky mat. I'm going to take my knees up on the mat. Now, this is only if you can tolerate it because it can be quite intense. So this isn't for people that are really new to learning how to sit in Virasana. This is if you can take some intensity and go for some refinements. So again, this lifting of the knees will elongate the shin bone, and so give me more space here to play with. And so if you're looking for things to do to occupy your time when you're in Virasana, I'm just going to show you a quick shoulder exercise that you can practice. Drop your head down, because often when we try to take the arms over the head and the shoulders are tight, the head just gets in the way. So Parvatasana, interlock the fingers, or Badanglayasana, and then you're going to take your arms up, steer to take the arms behind your head as you lift your head up, and then draw the back ribs in, sit tall. So this will help you to get back onto those sit bones. Then release the head down, then release the arm. Keep the head down, change the interlocking. So the pinky on the outside is now the pinky on the inside, which I've always thought would make a very good name for a song. Then you're going to look up. So you could hold this for 30 seconds, 1 minute. The life of a yogi is not counted by minutes, it's counted by breaths. So maybe 10 breaths. Then you exhale, release your head down, release your arms down, and that just helps for you to stay a little bit longer in your Virasana. Now, after something like this, which is quite intense, I recommend coming forward, lifting up, curling the toes under, and opening up the back of the knees so you don't put a lot of pressure. Now I'm going to come back to the camera, and hopefully you'll see my tattoo is other way. Okay, is in the center. I'm not sure how well you can see this. Is in the center of my foot. There's kind of a pinkish hue, and if I draw a line between the second and the third toe, it's right here in the center of the foot, center of the ankle joint. So hopefully that answers that question. It's a little bit of tinkering to find the proper use of props and also that proper alignment. So take the time to work on precision, especially if you want to go deeper into your Virasana. Namaskar. Happy practicing.